Coach, what did you see in just how the game kind of got away from you guys today?
Well, obviously they played great. It's probably a combination of our defense abandoned us and they just played terrific. We couldn't get stops. We talked about trying to guard different ways. We probably should have just said, let's do better what we do. But we tried zone 3 times and Harold got the rebound on all 3 shots. So ultimately, we just have to be a lot better than we were, but credit them, they played great. And we'll move on.
The last time they beat you with open threes, looks like a lot of the same tonight. I mean, what makes them so difficult getting for that?
Well, I thought first of all, they're hard to guard. They do a good job. They've got a lot of guys that can put the ball on the floor, which I think is really, those guys put pressure on the defense all the time. 1 through 4, they can really put the ball on the floor. And then Harold and Zubac do a great job of rolling and demanding attention at the rim. So I thought, without getting too deep into the technical stuff, I thought we just let the ball go wherever it wanted to. And then when they can play on a string like that, you have no chance. So again, if I had to do over at halftime, I'd probably say just do what we do better instead of making any changes.
Would you say they've been a particularly difficult, challenging opponent for your team this season?
Yeah, they've been good. They've been good against everybody. It's not a big shock. They're a good basketball team that plays the right way. They clearly know what they're all supposed to do and what they do best, and they do it. They play as hard as anybody we've played against.
You guys are obviously in kind of a bad spot when you came out here on this trip. How do you kind of assess how things went and where you are now?
I'm not thinking about the trip as a whole as much as just kind of what we need to do better from tonight. There's some very clear areas that we need to improve upon that, we probably got exposed a little bit in the Sacramento game, but clearly tonight. So we're going to have to get back and work hard on Wednesday to be ready for Thursday.
What positives do you take, just even if it's from the first game, second game, or the whole trip as a whole? Anything that you saw that you guys can take from here?
I'll tell you at the end of the year. Who knows, right? It's not like we had solved the big puzzle after 3 games. We're just trying to get better, and so we didn't play well tonight. They outplayed us, and kudos to them, and now we'll take what we need to and move on and learn from it.
Do you think Doc Rivers should get Coach of the Year this year?
Definitely. There's so many great candidates, and feels like every night you're playing against a new one. We've got Sacramento next. You just go on down the list, but nobody's done a better job than Doc. He's done an amazing job. He's an amazing coach, and he looks like he's having a blast with this team. That's the other thing. Like I said before, it's hard to find that group that plays that well together and plays with that kind of intensity. So I'm sure he's having a blast with it, and he's doing a great job, as is his staff, obviously.
What do you make of a player like Lou Williams? He's now scored most points in NBA history off the bench.
Is that right? Did that happen tonight? Well, I would say that most guys like Lou Williams don't come off the bench. And I think that's what makes me appreciate him more, is the fact that, he could start pretty much anywhere and he could do whatever. But he comes in with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. He doesn't need to get a rhythm. He's just ready to hoop. And, I really appreciate that about him. And, congratulations to him.
Marcus Morris is struggling a bit there.
Yeah.
What was that moment that you had when you took him out? It seemed like you had a little self-pressure to say to him.
I don't remember.
It was like in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, he had just had a really tough defensive sequence, and you took him out.
Yeah, and I think he maybe had his 5th foul or 4th foul, but I don't remember if I said anything specifically to him or not. You have days like that. The other team's playing too.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you, Coach.